A lot of guys would never think that Chris Paul had more points than Larry Bird. And this is where it comes at for this longevity. Now, Chris Paul averaged 17 points a game, and Larry Bird averaged 24.29. But Larry Bird played 13 years, and Chris Paul played 20 more years to it. And I want to say this to people. So sometimes just because you have the total amount of numbers, you know what I mean? Because you
Hmm.
play longer, don't
Hmm.
mean you're a greater scorer. It just
Correct.
means you play longer because I would never ask for Chris Paul to get a bucket over Larry
They
Bird.
mad, they hate me and irritated. Wow. Close your mouth, you can save it without a doubt. Yeah. You won't claim it, you is a slouch. Live in your mom basement. They mad, they hate me and irritated. Stop complaining, stop back chasing.
What it do is your boy Lifeline. Lifetime Presents bringing to you GOAT Metrics, episode 37. We got Benny Blanco in the building. What's up, B?
What's going on, man?
Ain't
Happy to be
nothing,
alive.
man. Oh, I know that's right, bro. Happy to not be crying. You know what I mean? We back
No
to the
doubt.
bucket list, man. I've been traveling trying to get different places to record, man. I haven't found the home yet, man. The studio got shut down, so right now I'm trying to find different lighting and stuff. So y'all got to bear with us. But right now we got, and then funny because some people don't listen; they just listen to the podcast. But right now we up to number 31. We got Charles Barkley. He got 23,757 points. He played 16 seasons. He's number 38 on the all-time averages with 22 points and 22.14 points average a game. He never averaged 30. He played 16 years, zero scoring titles. Number 31 on the all-time bucket list, Charles Barkley. How you feel about Charles Barkley's career as a scorer, and what you think his halves number is?
Sir Charles, no doubt. The mile, what was it? The mile round and rebound.
Yeah, facts.
I keep telling you about guys with nicknames. So, um, listen, I'm gonna give him my half score is gonna be a little biased. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I'm gonna give him a 90. And
Okay,
you know
okay.
why? And it's something silly. It's not because of Charles. Charles is great. You know what I'm saying? At his height, he one of the most greatest ferocious rebounders we've seen. You know what I'm saying? At his height and athleticism, like he was never in no dunking contest. But if you look at his highlights, at his height, he could get up there and
Yeah.
handles for his again. And as he got older, his handle got better. To tell you the truth, because he would do a couple of dribbles and get to like a pull up in his later years, which was. But yeah, no, I'm giving him a 90 because all these years, man, I've been playing 2K, and Charles Barkley is the only player not in it because he chose not to be in it for whatever reason. It's like, and it leaves the fans out of it. Like, yo, we want to play with you, but
Mm.
never. And I've been playing 2K forever, still do. And I want to play with Charles, but he chose not to.
Now I got
So
you. I
90.
got you. All right, you give him a 90. I'm gonna give him more of a 94. And because I don't play 2K, you know what I mean? But But when you look at handles, he of course he now have the herky jerky in and out, but he had enough dribble to get him to the basket and get him to a shot. And Charles Barkley is an excellent scorer. He's an excellent scorer. He ain't never scored 29 points a game, but the 24, 25, 26 range, he was good for that. And playoff runs, he got it in. He showed you when he took Phoenix to the finals what kind of scorer he was, and even at the Dream Team. And his jump shot was pretty good for him to be 6'4", and with his body types. He wasn't like a smooth shooter, he just was a good shooter. And his athleticism was out of this world. For him to be 6'4", the dunks and things that he used to do, he didn't have a whole bunch of different, he didn't have a repertoire of dunks, but he would bang it on anybody. So I give Charles Barkley a 94. Now we go to number 32 on the bucket list. And this is the biggest surprise to me. Even though he's 32, but Robert Parish is number 32. He has 23,343 points. He has zero scoring titles. He never averaged 30, but listen to his scoring average. He averaged 14.5 a game. So, of course, he's not in the top averages of all time. But what got me is his low scoring average, but him still to be this high. But Robert Parish played 21 years. How you feel about Robert Parish as a scorer, and what's his halves number?
Um, I'm gonna give the Chief. I'm gonna give the Chief an 85.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Maybe if he didn't play for Boston with all those great players around him, pretty much his whole career, maybe we could have seen more what he can do.
Yeah.
But he was a good center. He had them long arms, and to tell you the truth, he did look like a chief. So that nickname suits him well.
Yeah, no, I dig that.
Um, he with them long arms, he can shoot over you. I remember sometimes he used to give Pat a hard time. But good center. I mean, he's consistent. I'll give him that. He got chips. He was on a good teams. But 85 for me, man.
Okay. I'm like an 82 with Robert Parrish. And I got him that high because, of course, he ain't got no handles. But his athleticism was pretty decent, especially when he was younger. And he had a jump shot to be a big man. He had different
Mhm.
repertoire of shots that he could do. But he's the first guy to me. Like Seb, if he was here, he'd probably say LeBron because all them years. But Robert Parrish to play 21 years and only average 14 points, it lets you know he didn't miss no games.
Mm.
Robert Parrish played like almost
Iron
80
Man.
or yeah, he played a lot of games because there's a lot of guys that have 21 seasons and they higher, you know. But his by scoring average to be that low, he just played a lot of games averaging 14.5, you know? So
Yeah.
that's what the Chief is. Now we go to Adrian Dantley, number 33 on the all-time bucket list. He had 23,177 points. He played 15 years. He had two scoring titles. He's number 24 on the all-time scoring list. He averaged 24.27 points a game. He averaged 34 times. That's Adrian Dantley, two scoring titles, averaged 34 times in 15 years. What you feel about AD? The real AD. Now I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man, I gotta give him. I'm gonna give him a 93. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Those numbers you just mentioned right there, those are serious. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I remember him. I like when I started watching basketball, I got a glimpse of him and what a real scorer he was. He had that weird, like at the free throw line, the way he spin the ball. Um, but I think what happened was he got into beef with Zeke, and they shipped his ass out of there. So
Mm,
he ain't win no chips. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But as far as being a scorer, he had a handle, definitely had a handle. Um, pull up jump shot. Um, yeah, man, 93. 93.
Okay, AD, I'm gonna give him a 95. I'm with you. I'm with you. And the reason why I gave him higher because for his era, his handles was good. He wasn't the
Yeah.
above the rim kind of player, but he was athletic and physical enough that could get what he wanted to get. And when it comes to shooting, scoring, and getting to the basket, he top notch. You got to realize in 15 years, he averaged 30.
It's crazy.
That's
It's
very
crazy.
impressive. And with two scoring titles. And just with playing 15 years and averaging almost 25 points a game is very impressive. So I give him what
Yeah.
I said 95, right? I said 95?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
give him a 95. Like he's up there. And in his era, in the era he played, like if it was a 2K back then, you would play with him because
No
he was
doubt.
buckets, you know? So
No
now
doubt.
let's look at number 34 on the bucket list is Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade played 16 years. He got 23,165 points. He got one scoring title. He averaged 30 one time. He's number 41 on the all-time averages with 21.98. That's D Wade, 16 years, one scoring title, averaged 30 points one time. How you feel about Dwyane Wade as a scorer and his has number? That's handles, athleticism, and shooting.
Uh, definitely 95. I'm gonna put him at
I,
95.
yeah,
I think he's good there at that number. That will put him up there um with the best scorers we've seen. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like you can put him up there with Michael Jordan numbers and Kobe's and all these shooting guards. You gotta consider him. Um, and I've watched him, and he destroyed the Knicks. And I was in Miami, and these people were going nuts when they winning the championship, and he was amazing. He was
yeah.
amazing. So yeah, man, 95. I put him up there like at one of the top shooting guards I've seen, since I've been watching basketball.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I'm with you. I'm gonna give him the same score as you at 95. That put him in an elite air as far as I think when you're 95 and better, that shows with your hash number, that show you have a versatile game. Cause D Wade could shoot. He wasn't really big on threes, but he could shoot. He had athleticism and he had enough handles to get where he wanted to get on the floor. And if you don't pay attention, he'll get that step on you and banging on you. So D Wade definitely a 95. This guy right here, he's one of these guys right here that his scoring don't show you what his career should be by who he played next to as far as in the league at the time. But we're gonna go to number 35 at the bucket list. We go to none other than Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor for 14 years. His total numbers is 23,149. He has zero scoring titles. He averaged 33 times. You hear me? In 14 years, he averaged 33 times. But this is the most impressive right here. He's number 5 on the all-time scoring average. For 14 years, Elgin Baylor averaged 27.36 points a game. Let me say that again. In 14 years, he averaged 27.36 a game. He's number 5 on the all-time scoring average. So Elgin Baylor has 14 years and he's averaged 33 times. What you feel about Elgin Baylor as a scorer to be this high on the bucket list? And then as far as his has number, even though well you might know more than me, so I ain't even gonna say nothing. What you think his has number is, and ask him as a score?
Um, Elgin Baylor, 95.
Okay.
Maybe I should have even put him at 97, but
Oh,
um, probably one of the first small forwards that can do everything. Like he could shoot, he could dribble at the small forward position. You know what I'm saying? Like he was fast. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? And he could get to the basket. He was like a Michael Jordan at the small forward position. But you know what's crazy with all the 14 years he was averaging all of that, and he played with Jerry West and Chamberlain, so he was
yeah,
doing all this shit even with them on his squad. So he was lethal. Probably one of the first superstar small forwards.
yeah. I'm with you too. I don't know which score you gave him a 95, but I'm gonna give him a 97. I know you was considering 97, and I
Yeah.
feel like you when it came to, of course, dribbling wasn't dribbling. I don't even know what kind of ball they played with that back then, but but as far as athleticism and shooting, he was an amazing scorer. So I get his has number a 97. But he averaged 30 for 3 years, was very impressive. And then by a scoring average like that, like some of the great guys, even like Durant and LeBron, these guys averaging like 27, 26, like Elgin Baylor was doing it. And like you said, he played most of his career with a great running mate.
Yeah.
And I just let you know what kind of scorer he was. You know, he played with
Yeah.
Jerry West. And then in his later years, he played with Wilt Chamberlain. So to play with that type of roster and still average these points, like, it's amazing. So he definitely get a 97 as Has number. Now we gotta look at the floor general right here. This is the floor general. Number 20, number 36 is none other than Chris Paul on the bucket list. Chris Paul got 23,011 points for his career. He played 20 years. He has 0 scoring titles. He averaged he's not in the top 50 scoring average. We average 17 points a game, and he never averaged 30. So that's Chris Paul, 20 years, 23,000 points. What you feel about Chris Paul and his career?
I like Chris Paul. I like Chris Paul a lot. Um, he's probably one of the last true point guards. Or like if
Mhm.
there was like a blueprint of what a point guard is supposed to do on a court, it would be Chris Paul. Like he had the handles like crazy. His
Mhm.
handles was ridiculous. He had the pull-up game on lockdown, running a team, setting up other people, the lobs, ridiculous. You got to put him in conversation as best point guards to ever play. I don't know what number he will fall, but out of respect for him, he should be in that conversation. But I'm gonna give him a 93.
Okay. Chris Paul, I'm with you. I give Chris Paul because he's not the most athletic, but when it comes to handles and shooting, he don't have a certain type of range. He can hit the three, but it is a flat-footed three at that. But Chris
Yeah.
Paul is definitely a pull-up shooter. Like, he know how to get to his spots and make his pop. And the thing about it is, when we get down the list, like, I'm so impressed with this because Chris Paul is known as an assist guy,
Uh-huh.
and a steals guy. For him to be in the
Yeah.
top 50 bucket list is very impressive. So Chris Paul, just for him making the top 50, and he's in the top 40, I'm gonna give Chris Paul a 94. You know, I'm gonna give him a 94 just because, like, he's not one of them hell of a scorers,
Right.
but he put them buckets in and he has longevity. So that's what put him in here. Now we go to number 37 on the all-time bucket list. All right, it's none other than Damian Lillard. He played 13 years. He averaged 30 twice. He's number 14 on the all-time scoring average. So Dame Lillard averaged 25.11. That's a lot. That's more than a lot of players right now. That's more than a lot of players. So Dame Lillard, number 14 on all-time averages, played 13 years and averaged 30 twice. How you feel about Damian Lillard as a scorer and his Has number?
I'm gonna give Dame Time 95.
Okay.
And it's a shame he hasn't won a chip. I'm not gonna put it out there. I know he went back to Portland. Um, I feel like he deserved a chip at some point, but if it don't happen, it don't happen. But at his size, what he has done so far is amazing, and it always gives hope for the little guys, the point guards. Like, look, you can do damage. You just got to figure out a way.
I
Um, so 95.
I dig that. I dig that. I'm with you, B. I'm with you. I'm gonna give him a 95. Um, I kind of want to give him more, but I'm gonna leave him at a 95 right now because he's an excellent shooter. He has handles, athleticism. He showed us at times, but he's a little older now. So his younger years, he wasn't really that athletic, but he done punched it a few times in games. but he's
Hmm.
more known as a scorer. So as a scorer, I give him 100, but his hash number, I give him a 95. Because Damian Lillard, I mean, you just said it, Dame time.
Yeah.
Like big shot maker, big shot maker. Dame makes some of the greatest shots you ever seen, and he done
Yeah.
waved a few people off in the playoffs, and he made big shots. We're gonna miss Dame this year with this Achilles joint. But now we go to number 38. It's none other than Clyde the Glide Drexler. He played 15 years. He got 22,195 points. He averaged 20.4 for his career that he didn't make the top 50, and he never averaged 30 before. So 15 years, 22,000 plus points. Clyde Drexler, how do you feel about him as a scorer from being number 38 on the all-time bucket list? And then his has number.
I'm gonna have Clyde the Glide. I'm gonna have him at. I'm gonna give him a 93.
Wow. Okay. 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 All right.
Um, I mean, you know what, 90. I would put him at a 95 because
Okay.
growing up, like he was like to me, he was like the second version of Jordan. You know what I'm saying? As far as he was a shooting guard, he gets his athleticism was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sit there and take off the dunks. Jump shot wasn't all that great, but definitely explosive in the open court. So I'm gonna give him a 95.
Now I dig that. I'm with you. Now I'm gonna give him a 96. I'm gonna give him a little further because his athleticism, like certain guys' athleticism, I give them a little extra points. Matter of fact, we move him into a 97. I'm gonna give Clyde Drexler a 97 because he had good enough handles. Of course, see, when we be thinking handles, sometimes we think about Steph Curry and the Mark Jackson and all these other guys who knew how to dribble that ball and do what they wanted to do with it. But Clyde Drexler had a good enough handle to get him his shots, get him down the lane, and he had a jump shot and he had range. And he's the ultimate scorer. His average for 15 years, the average 20, but a lot of the years he played with Akeem, so some of his scoring average dropped. But when he was in Portland, he was giving buckets.
No doubt.
So now we go to number 39 is the glove, Gary Payton. He dropped down to 21,813 in 17 years. He got an NA because he averaged 16.3. He's not in top 50. He never averaged 30. That's Gary Payton, 21,813 points. Zero scoring titles, never averaged 30. How do you feel like him about as a scorer from B this high? And then his has number.
Um, as far as a scorer, he was a very good scorer. I think he was only like what 6'2". Um, so he wasn't like a tall guard. He wasn't like a short guard. He was fast.
Yeah.
He had handles.
Mm-hmm.
He could score the ball, but he was very crafty. So he was like a slashing guard. So because he wasn't put in mad threes or even looking for jump shots, he would get his stuff slashing, post ups, fadeaways, that type of thing in the mid range. Um, but he was a really good passer as well, and of course the glove, the steals. He played D. He wasn't afraid to play D. Um, 93.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, but Gary Payton, I'm like you. He wasn't a real good scorer like that, but because he was a floor general and he got his teammates involved and he got big buckets. So with his has number, with his handles, athleticism, and shooting, I give him like a 92. I don't know what you said. You said a 93?
I get him a 93.
Yeah, I give him a 92. I mean, he's up there. Now, his athleticism was more on defense. He might have caught a few dunks here and there, but he was a hard-nosed basketball player. As far as a scorer, he would score when he needed to. He just didn't. That wasn't his thing that he was always trying to score.
Right.
So now number 40, the top, to finish the list for this week is none other than Larry Bird. Larry Bird played 13 years. He got 21,971 points. He's number 23 on the all-time scoring list. He averaged 24.29, and he never averaged 30 for his career. How do you feel about Larry Bird as a scorer, and what is Larry Bird has number to finish the top 40?
All right. So Larry Legend, I got him at 97. As a
Ooh, okay.
scorer, he's a great scorer. That's what he does. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? He wasn't a crazy defensive player. Never
Mm-hmm.
will be known as that. He was known as a scorer.
Yeah.
Uh, he wasn't fast. He was very crafty, very
Mm-hmm.
confident, and he can release that shot. He felt he felt he could release that shot on anybody. He pretty much proved it. So Larry Legend as a scorer, his lethal shooting touch, he was an excellent passer. Excellent passer. Um and he tough nose, he wouldn't quit. He was a competitor. So he wanted to win every game. So 97. Larry Legend.
I got you. I'm with you on that, man. I'm gonna give him a 98, just one over you. And like you said, he wasn't that athletic. And then, of course, he had enough handles for the time that he played. Like, you wasn't taking the ball from Larry Bird. But when it comes to shooting, I mean, it wasn't a shot he couldn't make. I mean, when they had the McDonald's commercial, with him shooting around the world and shooting from the bleachers and this, that, and other, Larry Bird was a different type of shooter. And for him as a scorer to average 24.29, number 23 on the all-time score list, and he only averaged 13. Like him and Damian Lillard is up there with only 13 years. Like most of the other guys, they the first 13 guys. Maybe like Will Chamberlain was 14. So, but they're definitely up there. So Larry Bird, what I say, a 90, 97? I think I said a
Yeah.
97.
Well, you got him at 98. I got him at 97.
Okay, yeah. 98. I got him at a 98, man. I mean, I couldn't give him 100 or a 99, but when it comes to shooting, there's not too many guys greater than Larry Bird to make a bucket. All
No.
right, so that's the top list, man. We did pretty good because only two of us. We speeded that thing up right now. So right now, you could talk about what you want to talk about because right now you might have some Knicks stuff. I don't know if you got into some Knicks stuff or what you feel. You could go NFL. You go wherever you want to go. This is around the world. So whatever y'all want to talk about, we want to talk about it. So what's good, B?
Well, let's talk Knicks. Let's talk Knicks.
Okay.
Training camp is open. New coach. The roster is going to be what we got. That's what we're rolling with. Leon Rose and these guys, they're not big on making blockbuster deals and all. They're always very good at selective certain players to join the roster and make it more deeper. We got Clarkson now. We got Yabu. I want to see what
Mm,
they want to bring. Yabu's been playing great in the Olympics with the French team.
yeah.
Clarkson is a bona fide scorer. Um, I want to see what Brogdon is going to bring. You
Mm-hmm.
know, all these players to relieve the pressure off of Brunson because, to tell you the truth, last year I got tired of Brunson freaking dribbling the goddamn ball all goddamn long, man. That shit was crazy, man. So it looks very promising, but I like that he came out. He's like, listen, I don't have a starting five. What do you think? What should we roll with?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. Like with this year, I guess because Robinson is going to be healthy now. He came off an injury last year, but it's just that some guys in the league, when they don't start, they don't be as effective. So
Hmm.
right now, you got to see the temperament of each player, and maybe ask the player who will be comfortable coming off the bench. Because me as a player, like, of course, I had no skills like these guys. But if I know I could be one of the top guys off the bench, and you could sit there and watch the game develop and see what you could do in the game.
Right.
So I want to know which guy. I know Hart maybe need to start. So and then Bridges and Anunoby got big contracts. So it's kind of hard to not start these guys. So I don't really
Well,
know what.
actually, Hart is. I think he's like almost a guarantee that he's coming off the bench.
Okay.
Because originally, like because of Mitchell Robinson injury, that's why Hart was starting. But it was supposed to be Mitch and Towns the whole way,
Mm,
and Hart off the bench. To be like a 6-man that does everything type of thing. So now
yeah.
that falls into this year. But do you want to go with the Towns and Robinson, or do you want to go Towns and maybe Yabu or one of these other guys? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's leaving it open. He's leaving it
Mm,
open and seeing what you can mix it up. But somebody told me an interesting thing. They said because Brunson, the reality is he can't guard fast guards. You know what I'm saying? It's clear he can't guard nobody fast. So
mm.
why not start Deuce, who's going to guard all the fast guards, move Brunson to the 2, Bridges to the 3, and then you'll have Towns and Robinson.
Oh, so
Work.
now you benching. Say it again. You said
Oh yeah,
Deuce.
but then what you do
Yeah.
with OG?
OG and Bridges, because you put Bridges in and not OG.
Nah. Bridges will move to small forward, so OG will be the one out.
Yeah, and I think
That's the
Deuce.
problem.
Yeah, I don't know if you want that small backcourt though.
I know.
Yeah, so that's kind of rough. I mean, the Knicks got to see what it do. Most likely, the guys see the thing that's gonna happen is gonna be Robinson and Hart that's gonna come off the bench. And the reason being, you know, because right now, if they play Robinson, then Hart could play in the lineup. But those gonna be the guys who's interchangeable coming in and out.
Yeah.
The other guys is pretty much a lot. And then you would think that Anunoby or Bridges, but they contracts. See, that's the only thing about the contracts. Their
Mm,
contracts make them have to be a starter.
right. Right.
But I would rather one of them off the bench than Josh Hart because he played better from tip off.
Right.
He's not the type of guy that comes in and get warmed up.
Yeah.
So I would rather um I don't even know which one because Bridges and Anunoby, their careers is kind of similar. Like Bridges probably could assist more, but they both is the similar type of scores, you know?
well, what happens also is again we got to see what this coach is going to do because we Thibodeau did great as a Nick. He
Yeah.
did. He went above and beyond. Like nobody's done better than Tibbs. Why did we fire him? Why we fire him? It's because I think the offense is stagnant. The offense
Mm.
is stagnant. I don't think you're utilizing Towns the way you should utilize them. And that's why they made the move. So this guy has to like make the offense flow because
Mm.
they're just too predictable.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the season to start. So we're gonna start season 2. We're getting off this podcast right here. We're gonna have our own channel for the basketball because I'm tired of mixing things up. I've been getting a little help with the PR and stuff like that, where people telling me different things to do as far as like doing a podcast. So right now, while our podcast is on the sports, but it has so much other things, we're gonna move it to its own type of channel and just have the sports by itself. So that's going to be real good instead of having everybody all over the place. Dude, like I'm at KFC and they selling shrimp. Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? These guys got oxtails at KFC. We gonna keep the chicken with the chicken. All
Yo,
right.
I just had oxtails tonight, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. That's one thing I miss about New York, B. That's one thing. I don't miss the crackheads. I don't miss I don't
Yo,
miss the
this shit
homeless
is
guys
wild.
masturbating on the train. Like I don't
Yo,
miss none of that. You
yo,
know?
funny that you say that, man, because just what yesterday, I'm on my way home and I'm transferring trains. I'm transferring from the M train to hop on the F train. As soon as I hop on the F train, I look down, I'll be like, oh, there's seats down there. And as I get closer, I see a dude looking sketchy as hell. And he started like shaking and shit. And then
Mm.
he zoomed out of there. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I start looking at the other people and they were going like this. Dude just took a shit right there, son. He just took a shit right on the train and bounced.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's I left New York in 97. No, actually 93. So I've been going, so somebody even might say I'm not even a New Yorker. I don't care. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is you have to have a different mentality living in New York. You have to
Crazy.
have a different mentality. You know, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of different things, and it's a whole bunch of different minds. And I always tell people when they ask me about New York and
Telling you.
stuff, and what I say, New Yorkers is like everybody want they foot, and it's too crowded that you can't keep your space. So everybody's fighting for their little space. And you just hope that you don't have a person with mental health issues, a homeless person, a drug addict, or whatever invade your space, you know? So it's
Right.
just a different type of thing. So I love New York. When I come back up there and I go hang out and do this and do that, it's nothing like it. And then when I get stuck in traffic, I realize it's nothing like it. And I don't do I don't do all the trains and this, that, and the other. Like I work too hard to be around people I don't want to be around.
Yeah.
And the trains is like you don't know what's gonna happen. And that's why they should have probably been the first state to legalize marijuana. Because just because the environment and your anxiety of what you're dealing with. Because I remember going to school. I don't know if I told you the story, but when I was 7 years old, I was staying with my godmother in East New York. We were still living in Brooklyn. We ain't moved to Queens yet. So
Okay.
we lived in Bed-Stuy. And all
Yo,
right,
I just had oxtails tonight, man. It's amazing.
yeah. That's one thing I miss about New York, B. That's one thing. I don't miss the crackheads. I'm supposed to be with my mother. So anyway, long story short, so I'm coming from Sheffield, 427 in Sheffield, and I'm driving to East New York. So I gotta get on a bus on Atlantic Avenue, do this, whatever, whatever, whatever. So I was taught. This is the thing that people don't realize. I'm 7 years old. They put me on a city bus with adults. I'm 7 years old. My godmother tell me she talked to the bus driver, sir, he got to get off on this stop. Make him stand right there. Don't let him sit down and tell him where to get off. Now, when I get off the bus, my brothers is there. So I go to school with them. One day, I sat down. I fell asleep. I woke up at the last stop, terrified. I didn't want to get off
Mm.
the bus. I didn't know where I was, but I knew this wasn't right. I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm crying. And he was like, don't worry about it. Do you know? And I had to remember like sites. He was trying to say, what stop do you get off at? But the thing about it is, I already been riding the bus for this long. I was kind of not scared of the people. but I was
Right.
scared of the ass whooping I was gonna get for falling asleep on the bus. I was more terrified of what was gonna happen to me than being lost and didn't know where I was at. And after
That's crazy.
that, until I moved back home with my mother, I never fell asleep on a bus. And when I heard, I think I might have heard Mano and Jim Jones, but I heard some rappers talking about riding the bus as a kid. Like that should have been against the law. Like
Mm.
why you have kids riding a bus with grown people going to work? You know what I mean? But that's that
Shit,
New
that's
York
really wild.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's that New York shit, man. They raised us different and then they wonder why we different. You know what I mean? But
Yo, we fucking. I did the fucking dollar cab to avoid the bus.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So did the dollar van that got me to the 165 in Jamaica and walked it from there.
Yeah, that was cool
Crazy.
with that. Yeah, so Dollar Van, like you could go to Sunrise movie theater. That was a
Right.
different type of situation. That was different,
Yeah.
and even with that, it was dangerous with that. I think I seen
Yeah.
a dollar man stab another dollar van man as a kid, and we had to get off and transfer. We wasn't even worried about him. We was worried about whichever van we was gonna jump on. You know what I mean? So they might have been Jamaican or whatever. They was arguing. They got a little scrappy. They stabbed. Like, oh, we gotta get off the van, man. Yo, you know what I'm saying? So New York just a
Crazy.
different animal. That's why I wanna visit Chicago though, because I hear like Chicago gives like that Midwest New York. It's like a similar
Yeah.
situation, just a different culture. All right,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do.
I actually met a few cats from Chicago. They were all cool.
Yeah.
When I was doing my internship in Orlando, they had a few people from Chicago, and we clicked right away because we was playing basketball. So we was like competing, and you and me, I'm from New York. I'm fucking banging with these motherfuckers, taking them to the rack. They were like, "Oh, yo, what the fuck?" I'm like, nah, I ball.
Mm.
So, but they like to ball too. So what I noticed though, they get deep into their handles. They're quick, but none of them really got deep jump shots. They got handles and they quick. Like the three guys I played, that's how they played. Just like boom, 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 always to the basket, always, and they never wanted to pull up.
Mm. Yeah, I met a few chicks from Chicago, but that's about it. This is a PG show. But this, I met one boy. I'm gonna say her name is. I ain't gonna say her last name, but I was in the army. Her name was Lisa H. That's all I'm gonna say. Her last name was H, man. She was something different. All right, but check it out though. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bend the list. I'm gonna bend the list. And I'm gonna put 31 against 40, and you tell me which one you want and why. All right? This is called the last pick. So we at the park. This is the last pick. You get the
Okay.
first out of the last pick. We don't care what the rest of your roster is. You pick the best available player.
Okay.
Okay? Number 31 is Charles Barkley versus number 40, Larry Bird. Which one you want and why?
I'm gonna go with Larry.
Okay, and why?
I'm gonna go with Larry because he's definitely gonna stretch the court. You got to worry about the long ball with him. A lot of room to operate in there. Driving to the basket. It's going to be a smooth offense. And he's lethal in the clutch. So you always got that cushion too. So Larry Legend.
All right, now we're gonna go 32 to 39. We got Robert Parish, the Chief, and Gary Payton. Which one you want and why?
It's a no-brainer. I'm going with the glove.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In battle, you want your point guard, going into battle like him. So the Chief, he's all right, but nah.
All right. So we going with number 32, AD, Adrian Dantley. And this is a good one. And 38, Clyde Drexler. Which one you want?
Listen, the numbers don't lie. I'm gonna go with AD.
All
Sorry to
right.
say, I like Clyde the Glide, but listen, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, buckets, buckets. All right. This one is a good one too, depending what you're looking for. Dwyane Wade, number 34, or number 37, Damian Lillard.
Dang.
Yeah, man. Yeah, think about that,
Uh,
man.
I'm gonna go with Dame Time, man.
Woo!
I'm gonna go with Dame
Woo!
Time just because he got the clutch gene. He's
Mm.
not scared. He got the long ball. He got the mid range. I'm gonna go with Dame Time.
Yo, D Wade over with so mad. Like, yo, you ain't see my run? You ain't see
Yeah.
my run? All right, this one is an easy one. It depends what you're looking for, though. So number 35, Elgin Baylor against number 36, Chris Paul. Which one you want? That's the last one.
Nah, man. Elgin Baylor. Elgin
Okay, okay.
Baylor. He's a dominant scorer. Dominant scorer. I get Chris Paul. We can get another guard to do what you do. You all right. But Elgin Baylor, if you're a scorer like that, there's not too many.
Yeah, I picked everything you picked. I picked everything you picked, but I would have probably picked D Wade over Damian Lillard just for defense. I
Mm,
don't really know what the rest of the team look like, but
right.
I know, and I know that Dame, Dwayne Wade could kind of, he's not a big guard, but he play big.
Yeah.
So, it was like sometimes them small guards get picked on, like Lillard, you know what I mean? Even though he got the handles and everything, I felt like D Wade might have been a more of a guy that put it in. So that's pretty much it, B, man. I ain't gonna hold us up none, man. That's GOAT Metrics number 37. We went Charles Barkley, Robert Parish, Adrian Dantley, Dwyane Wade, Elgin Baylor, Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, Clyde Drexler, Gary Payton, and Larry Bird. I want to say something, though. A lot of guys would never think that Chris Paul had more points than Larry Bird. And this is where it comes at for this longevity. Now, Chris Paul averaged 17 points a game, and Larry Bird averaged 24.29. But Larry Bird played 13 years, and Chris Paul played 20 more years to it. And I want to say this to people. So sometimes just because you have the total amount of numbers, you know what I mean? Because you
Hmm.
play longer, don't mean
Hmm.
you're a greater scorer. It just
Correct.
means you play longer because I would never ask for Chris Paul to get a bucket over Larry Bird. I don't
Right.
think nobody on this list, I would ask for more than a bucket than Larry Bird, you
Yeah.
know?
No doubt.
But that's what's up, B, man. It's always good, man. Hopefully, the last one we're gonna do, and then we're gonna be wrapping things up because we gotta get ready for the new season. So it's gonna be season 2 of the GOAT metrics, but we're gonna get back into the season because the season's about to come.
No doubt.
So until next time, bro, man. We're gonna finish the list next week, bro.
All right.
All right, peace.
Later, man. Take it easy.
Stop complaining, stop back chasing. Can't wait for it. You gotta